With this demo, we have two Powerstore that are protected with replication. On the left side, site A. On the right side, site B. As it's configured now, box 35 replicates to 33. Here I have my two cube clusters, site A, site B, and in this demo we will deploy a WordPress application and we'll secure it thanks to Powerstore asynchronous replication. On storage class Powerstore replication, site A talks to site B, and vice versa. Right now there is no replication group in place, and I will begin with my WordPress deployment. So WordPress is made of two pods, one for MySQL, one for WordPress. Each of these have one BV. As you can see, the deployment occurs on site A and provision also persistent volume, the replicated one, on site B. If I go to my Powerstores again, I select my volume group for WordPress. I go to protection, replication. I can see that my volumes are being replicated and operating normally from the site A to the site B. Same point of view, same status from the other Powerstore. And I can see from site A that my volumes are mapped to a single host, as opposite to, obviously, the second storage box. 0 host mapped to these volumes. We can get the same info from repctl, source, destination, link state. Now I'm going to connect to my WordPress site and configure it. URL is localhost, but keep in mind this is port forwarded and I'm connecting to the site A cluster. First login, select the language, the website name, the account, its password, and email. I will now install WordPress that behind the scene does insert into the MySQL database, maybe create artifacts on the WordPress pods. I can operate my WordPress, customize it if I will. And this is my website as of now. Last sync up was a minute ago, so let's wait for the replication to happen. And then let's tear down the app. Let's simulate an outage. So let's say something went bad and I want to failover from my one site to site B. I select my replication group, repctl failover to the site B. This means that my volume from the first storage array will become read-only and that my replication will happen. So right now, if I go back to my website, I cannot write any new data. It's probably something bad for MySQL. From Powerstore, I can see the status. Hey, I failed over. and my site is broken. So now what the Kubernetes admin has to do is to start up the workload on the other side, on the site B. So fairly easy. Switch site with kubeconfig. And redeploy the app. As you can see on the right side of the screen, the PVs are already ready and synchronized and available. It's just a matter of mounting them. On the left side, in the meantime, MySQL crashed because of these read-only volumes. Okay, pod creation. WordPress is ready on site B. Let me just change the networking. And now I'll try to connect to my WordPress site. Localhost. And here it is. This is my normal website. Everything is in place. Data is replicated. Now, let's say I'm adding new content to my WordPress website, maybe changing the theme or colors. So everything you see here is happening on the second side, and it's writing data on my second Powerstore. Turns black. Very important, I have to inform Powerstore that I have to reprotect my data. So exact same command, same replication group, just tell site B, A, reprotect. This means that the volume from site B will have their data replicated on site A. I need to make sure that my data is synchronized. I can see that from the Powerstore interfaces or from the repctl command. Let's wait a few minutes to make sure that I have fresh data replicated, because this is asynchronous. I have to wait 5 minutes. Synchronization of the data. Done. This means that my new colors and new theme will be written into MySQL and available from the other volume. So what I can do here is to failover again. This means that instead of going to site B, I'm to site A. I'm going back to site A. So next thing we do is removing from the site B because it became useless. I don't want to have errors like before. We can see that this is down. Switching to my original kube cluster, site A, I'm deleting the pods that were in error due to the read-only. We'll respin them and connect them to the writable volumes. Let's connect to the website. Loading. And everything is in place. I haven't lost any bytes.